All right, welcome everybody to Library Lunch Ladies Garden Harvest. Today we're in
my kitchen.
Sarah's kitchen! Yay! It's so nice and big. I can like work out in here.
I know. Yeah.
Fun. You can have a dance party while you're cooking.
Do the mason jar shake.
Yes.
I don't have one today.
Shake, shake, shake. Yeah, I don't either. But it's a lovely kitchen. I love it.
I love it. I spend a lot of time in here.
I would too if I lived here. Yes. All right. Well, I suppose enough about me loving Sarah's kitchen. We're gonna make 3 recipes today, right, Sarah?
Yes, we are.
But we're gonna eat 4.
Yes.
Because I made some cupcakes ahead of time because we don't want you guys to be like, you guys are making me tired. I don't want to watch you anymore. So we're trying to pack everything in as quick as we can. So the first thing that we're making is a zucchini gratin.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yes. And I did some pre cooking.
Yep.
So what I did post the recipe on the Facebook page, and I did take a little liberty with it. I changed some things up. So I used 2 large zucchinis in here, 2 large summer squashes from my garden, and 2 not too big eggplants. Those were from the farmer's market. I didn't grow eggplant or zucchini this year. And then I have some of my tomatoes from my garden, some grape tomatoes and an heirloom that I forgot the name of, but it's a purple heirloom.
It looks really pretty too.
So I pre-cooked the zucchini, squash, and eggplant. I boiled them for 10 minutes and then drained them. Then I mashed them with a potato masher and let them drain again because there's a lot of water in those veggies. So now I have it in my 8.5 by 11 greased or sprayed cooking casserole dish. And I'm going to add to that, and this is again where I took some liberties with the recipe, and she did say with the recipe that if you want to make it more eggy or more quiche-like, you can add more eggs. So I did that. Instead of using 1 egg like the recipe said, I'm using 3. And excuse me.
It likes to noise.
Jeez. Be quiet. So I have 3 eggs in here. I put a fair amount of grated Parmesan because I love cheese. Yeah, because who doesn't love cheese? And then I put a chopped Italian parsley, also from my garden. And some salt and pepper. So I'm just going to mix that up in this bowl and I'm going to pour it over my casserole dish. And all the while I'm doing this, the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. So we're going to mix this around in here. Make sure I get it all out. So really this recipe is like to let the vegetables really shine. There's not a lot of it seems like the egg and the cheese and it's just to like bind it together.
Yeah.
It's not like the main focus. So even though it said if you add more eggs it'd be a quiche, I'm seeing it and I'm like, well, I don't really see how that's going to be the case here, but okay.
I think you would need a lot more eggs.
I probably would need a lot more eggs, but that's okay. I'm excited to try it. Okay, so now that I have my mixture on and kind of mixed in here with my squash, eggplant, and tomatoes, I'm going to put the rest of my tomatoes on top. Oh, wait a minute. My pesto. So I made pesto from my basil and my lemon basil that I am growing in my garden the other day. And if you're interested in the recipe that I used, I can link it onto this post. But I use, see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if you guys can see that. I didn't know where to. But the top of my pesto is a little brown, and that's because it hit the air. And then you dig underneath in there, it's that beautiful green. It's very weird, that basil. It's darn basil.
Yeah, there's gotta be something in life.
It's gotta be. But
just stir it around.
Yeah, and then it's just fine. But
tastes good.
Yeah, I like the recipe that I used. You know, and I substitute sunflower seeds because pine nuts are expensive. and I was making a lot of it. Like I used a lot of what I made, and I still have all this left over. Yeah, it's really good, and with the lemon basil, it gives it like an interesting flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of dollop this throughout. And this is not part of the recipe. I just felt like doing it to see what it would taste like, because I love me some pesto.
I think pesto is like one of the best things to make when you have a ton of basil.
I know. It's so good. It's so good.
You can put it on so many things.
I know. And you can freeze it so easy. And like I said the other night when I made the original batch, I roasted some purple potatoes and some regular potatoes, and then I tossed them in the pesto.
That sounds really good.
It was so good. And I also sauteed some of the sorrel from the library gardens that you can surely pick, everyone, because there's still some out there. Lots of lettuce too. Go ahead and come back there and pick. We had a couple people out there this morning
really
picking.
good.
I know, it's awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to add my tomatoes. I'm just going to kind of place them on top to make it look pretty. And then we're going to stick it in the oven. And I'm probably going to add more pesto once I take it out and add the cheese. But for now, I think we are good. Okay. Sarah, do you want to stick it in since my hands are dirty?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And it's your house. Oh my gosh, what's going on?
The kitchen dance. Okay. So, yeah.
Thank you. So we're going to put that in for 10 minutes.
Can I put a timer in?
Yes, please. And like I said, at 350, 10 minutes. And then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to put more cheese on it and a little more pesto. But in that 10 minutes, you're making
Baba Ganoush.
So I'm gonna get out of the way.
Super excited. So, let me just grab all my stuff. And I love this. This is one of the things that I think is amazing to do when you have eggplant lying around. I think it's just so delicious. Everyone should like it. So we are gonna start with. We have one eggplant. Oh, and you see there's still some liquid in here. So you roast an eggplant, cut it in half, one large eggplant. I used 2 smaller ones, and I think it was like the same.
Yeah.
And then you get the flesh out, and then you drain it. And I thought I drained it enough, but I clearly didn't.
Yeah, well, there's actually quite a bit.
So I'm going
there.
to use my hands.
Heck yeah. Or you could use a colander.
Oh yeah, I have a colander right here again. And like get that liquid out.
That's what happened with my mixture of all the squashes and eggplant too. Like I drained that thing like 3 times, and there was still a bunch of water in there.
All right. So then we're gonna dump the eggplant into our food processor. Oh, very hot. Just wash my hands. Okay. And then we're gonna add in everything else. You can use Greek yogurt if you want. It's optional. I think it gets it like, you know,
A little more
smoother,
Yeah.
creamier.
Yeah.
So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of Greek yogurt.
And just notice how cute her little bowls are. Oh my gosh! Only somebody without kids would have those cute little bowls that she pre-measure stuff in, whereas I'm like, what in it? Anything!
They're Pioneer woman.
Of course they are. She's obsessed with Pioneer.
And then we're going to add tahini paste. So,
Love tahini.
and tahini, ground up sesame
Mhm.
seed paste.
So good.
And it's kind of like peanut butter, but I would never use peanut butter in this recipe.
Ew.
No.
Gross.
So don't do that. But like if you wanted to try like a tahini and jelly sandwich, I'd be game.
Actually, believe it or not, I have had that. And
That
it's
sounds delicious.
really good.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
not have a problem with that
Yes.
at all. And then we're gonna add in, okay, so in this container I have garlic, sumac, salt, and pepper. And sumac is popular or used a lot in Middle Eastern Mediterranean cooking. And it's used more as a finishing, something with sprinkle over the top. It's a bright flavor, kind of like a lemon. So it's kind of getting that brightness.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever used sumac in anything.
I don't
Where did
use
you
it.
find it?
Well, I buy my spices at Penzies.
Oh, of course Penzies would have it.
So,
Never needed sumac or anything.
so I'm just gonna like smush everything around a little bit before I get going. And then we have lemon juice. So we're just gonna put in the lemon juice. And that's basically, ooh, spill some lemon juice. So basically everything just goes in here and you're just gonna, I'm gonna pulse. You can make it as smooth as you want it to be. I like it a little chunky. So you kind of just go from there and see what it looks like. Make sure everything's all mixed around.
So there's no oil in it, huh?
Not in this recipe.
Huh.
I'm using.
When I've made baba ganoush before, you've like then drizzled the oil in.
When you roast it in the oven, you're using. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an eggplant, but I don't think that.
But like,
yeah.
I made it where you then
recipe.
put it in while you're.
Because I know in hummus, you're
Yeah,
using.
you do that.
You use that in hummus.
Yeah.
I kind of like the consistency. Oh, and one thing, like when I made this the first time, it just had one clove of garlic. Throw it in there. My food processor didn't chop it up very well, so then I had just like giant chunks. So what I ended up doing was like mincing it, so that way like
that makes more sense.
just so that it gets a little even more evenly dispersed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this out. You know what? I'm gonna grab a bowl. I forgot to grab a bowl.
Okay. I'm gonna get out of your way. I'm gonna look at my stuff over here.
I think this should work right here. And then after I get it out of the bowl, see how easy it is to make this? And if you do some stuff ahead of time, like you can roast the eggplant like the day before you want to do it. It's so quick to pull together when you already have the eggplant roasted.
Yeah.
And the eggplant came from my parents' garden.
Yay!
They gave me their eggplant and it was delicious.
So this is really like truly garden harvest, everyone.
And
For most of it. Some of it, okay, maybe not. But I got it from a farmer's market.
Yeah.
Oh, it's somebody's garden.
And then we're going to just let it sit in the fridge. It tastes really good when we make it. It has a little chance to like cool and
now I have to wait to try it.
it won't take too long though, because in the meantime, after I get this in the fridge, we are going to make a salad, because apparently that's all I make when we do our cooking shows.
I did kind of pick on her. Sarah likes salad.
And I'm just gonna leave that off to the side.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Your salads are always really good.
So here's what the baba ganoush ends up looking like. Looks really good. And then when you're ready to serve, you can always sprinkle sumac on top.
Okay.
And it said pine nuts, but I don't have pine nuts.
Yeah. You know what? I've also had it
Or
like
some
from
kind of
Middle
cheese.
Eastern restaurants, like some chickpeas on top.
Oh yeah. That would
Yeah,
be
with a little olive oil, which I was really
Oh, that
like.
makes sense. Which you can do olive oil on.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so
Sure,
we'll check on
get
that
these out
later.
here before
Thank you
you
very
go.
much. Let me just move down some of this stuff.
Do you need this stuff too?
Yes, if you
Okay.
could help me out.
Here's your
by pulling that
recipe.
down. We are going to make a. Let's see myself. Okay.
You don't need to see yourself, Sarah.
We are going
We're
to
very
make-
concerned about how we look on TV.
I just want
It's not
to
TV.
see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're making an end of summer quinoa salad, and for this you're gonna want to cook your quinoa ahead of time. Let it sit at room temperature. Put it in the fridge. You don't need it warm. So we're going to start. We're going to just move these off to the side. So we're going to start by making our vinaigrette for it. So
Let me move this so that everybody
Yeah.
can see a little better what you got there, Sarah.
yeah.
Can you still see okay?
I can just put this right here.
Okay.
So we're going to start with making the vinaigrette. So you're going to need some olive oil and dump in your honey. 1/3 cup of each.
Yummy. It already sounds good.
So this is a sweeter, I think it's going to be a little sweeter dressing.
Yum. I love using honey in my vinaigrettes. Like, I don't use sugar very much. I substitute honey a lot for things, but
Yeah, I was
like,
going to say honey would be like the sugar, so
Yeah.
it's
but I just
It's
love
more
honey
natural.
vinaigrettes.
Yeah.
So there's just you know.
right. I like them.
Yeah.
Too. And something like if you're making this in a different bowl, like I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna put it all in like what the olive oil is in.
That's what I do.
Use your olive oil first. Pour in your olive oil, then pour your honey in the container because it'll slide out a lot more easier, and you might not even have to use one of these. Put that over here. And then we're going to dump in balsamic vinegar.
Ooh,
Yeah, I love balsamic vinegar in my
so
dressings.
delicious.
I'm gonna take this back. Just because I want all the balsamic vinegar, so.
Yum.
Okay, and then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of grated onion. Do you know what sucks? Grating an onion.
How much did you cry?
I was crying so much, and you get so little for all your arm strength that you use. I was just like, come on.
Was it bad for you?
It was annoying.
Okay.
But
it couldn't have been that hard.
Yeah. Next time I was mincing them, it was a little easier.
So what's the point of grating them?
I think it might incorporate more into the dressing because it looks more like mushy. It's mushy onion.
Okay. Okay.
That's the onion, the mushy.
Oh.
So it's like super mushy.
Okay.
You got 1 minute.
I've got 1 minute.
Yeah.
I gotta get something done here.
And then I also have 2 minced garlic cloves in here. So I'm gonna add those to my salad dressing. Maybe I should have used another bowl.
It's just gonna be really full. That's all.
Hopefully. Okay. So, and then we're going to add white wine Worcestershire sauce. And if you're like me, you're like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of white wine Worcestershire sauce.
Heard of that.
And you know what you can find? White wine Worcestershire sauce. So, you know what I did? I, as a librarian, I like to look things up, and I found a way I can substitute. So I made my own version of white wine Worcestershire sauce, which was dry sherry, cider vinegar, sugar, and salt.
Okay.
And I tasted it, and it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't just drink it.
Does it taste anything like regular Worcestershire?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't think in this recipe you really want the normal Worcestershire sauce. So that's why I was like, well, I didn't want to just substitute normal Worcestershire sauce.
I hear you.
Oh, I can press the.
I just stopped it.
Okay, good. And then, so you only need 2 teaspoons of that. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my made-up concoction right here. Hopefully this is similar to what it's actually supposed to taste like. Couldn't tell you because I never had white wine Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah. Hey, can I just do a quick show?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Get on in here.
So now this is our casserole here after the 10 minutes. So I'm going to add more cheese, a lot more cheese, like
That looks really good.
a cup of cheese, maybe a little more, and a little more pesto. It smells really good.
It smells so good.
Holy cow.
It smells like I cooked up garden, like in the kitchen. Like all the fresh vegetables.
We kind of did.
Yes.
We kind of did.
So it smells delicious. Okay, now to finishing off the dressing. In this container right here, I have sweet curry powder, which I also got from Menzies, and it smells delicious.
I've had their sweet curry powder.
It's so good.
I don't like curry, but I like their curry powder.
Hashtag ad.
I don't know what that means.
Because we're talking about Menzies so much.
Oh.
Kidding, not an ad. So, and then I also have a little bit of salt and pepper in here as well. So just dump it all in. You can use normal curry powder, mild, whatever you like. I just thought because this sounds like it's a sweeter dressing, I thought I would just use the sweet curry powder. Okay, and then that is pretty much all the stuff you need for your dressing. And I have my whisk right here, and I'm gonna do it slowly because
it's so full.
It's so full.
I understand though. The less dishes you have to do.
I know, even though I have a dishwasher, but like still, you don't want to like. And you know, very clever. I'm doing this on a baking sheet, so the mess will be contained.
Yeah.
Even though I did this for easy meal prep, so then I have all my ingredients together, which is a great thing to do if you're like meal planning for your family. Pre-do your stuff all ahead of time, put it on a sheet pan, put it in your fridge, and then it's all ready to go when you're ready to cook, and then you don't have to like scramble around the kitchen like I always do.
I don't know if I have room in my fridge.
It depends. Like if you have your room, it's really nice.
I'm always like, what am I gonna make tonight? And I figure it out that morning, or when I get home from work.
All right. And I've never made this before, so we will see how it goes. I'm just gonna hold off tasting until the end so that I know if it's actually, if I followed it and it looks really good. Okay, so basically from here, we're just gonna be dumping all of our stuff in a bowl. So I have cooked and cooled quinoa. So you're just gonna put that in your bowl. So this is 1 cup cooked quinoa, and it makes a lot.
Quinoa, I'm always like, that's not gonna be a lot. And then it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with all this quinoa that I just made? That was a bad idea.
So get your quinoa in the bowl. And then you're gonna pour the dressing right over the quinoa so that quinoa soaks up all of that dressing.
Oh man, that looks so good. That looks so good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give it a quick stir again, make sure it's all incorporated. And then I'm going to dump it all on top. Yay! Move my bowl over. And then you're just gonna stir around the quinoa. So that dressing is all over it. And then the fun part is folding in all of your delicious veggies from your garden. So this actually uses a lot of veggies. So I spent a lot of time chopping stuff. So we are going to add in first 2 large carrots. And you want to cut them up into the small little coins. Dump those in. I'll probably add like a couple at a time and then give it stir around. 2 ears of sweet corn, just right off the ear, no cooking them or anything. So we'll see how.
Really?
Yeah. It just says raw.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought the same thing, and I'm like, oh, we'll give it a try.
That's interesting. I mean, I probably have had raw corn before.
I mean, I tasted it. It tasted fine, but
It's different though.
It's
different.
So I'm gonna just fold those in before I start dumping more stuff. And there's like multiple ways you can cut the corn off however you want. Just be careful because no matter how you try it, it's still dangerous. No matter which method you use. Ooh, fabulous. Fresh cherry tomatoes from my parents' garden. So super excited for these. Always love fresh tomatoes.
This is yummy.
What's in here? Oh, these are, you can use like, it says red bell pepper. I thought those tiny little peppers would look really cute in different colors. So I have like red, orange, yellow. You just toss them all in. I think it'll look really pretty in the end. I like my salads.
It's a rainbow.
Pretty.
It's a rainbow.
I like pretty salads. And I don't remember what's left. Ooh, yellow squash. We're gonna throw in some yellow squash. Halved, cut into like little moons.
Raw though.
Yeah, raw. Everything is raw that's going in here. So if you like them chopped up smaller, chop them up smaller. I don't really have a preference.
I would maybe do it a little smaller. Yellow summer squash is probably my least favorite squash. And yet I continue to grow it in my garden.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you grow it?
And get a bajillion of them.
And then a cucumber. And this is from Keri's garden.
Because I have a bajillion of those too.
I did seed it because there's a lot of seeds in those.
They have lots of
seeds. But you can cut them up as big or small as you want. And then that is pretty much all of the veggies that go in here. And then we're just going to stir it around. I picked the right size bowl. Yay. Usually I pick too big or too small. I'm like, this is just right.
That's pretty good. I usually pick too small. And I'm like, ugh.
I need to find a good bowl.
And then more dishes.
Exactly. And I don't like that.
Even, like you said, even with the dishwasher, it's like, come on.
Because then it's like, you fill up the dishwasher, and then you don't want to do all those extra dishes, so you have to wait until your dishwasher is done.
Third world problems. Or first world problems. Wrong. First world problems.
And then we are going to throw in some fresh thyme. So mix in a little bit of fresh thyme chopped up. Although I don't really think you need to chop up fresh thyme. It's small
It's so
enough.
tiny. Mm-hmm.
But I did
still.
because I like to follow recipes.
But also it helps it gets the oils out and makes it a little more fragrant.
Right.
Tastier.
Are you ready to try it?
Heck yeah.
Okay, let me get my tiny little cute little tiny little
They're
plates.
cute. And she has tiny like utensils.
Little tiny utensils. They're called appetizer forks and spoons.
Yes.
In little tiny
And what are
plates.
those for?
These are little like tasting plates.
Is
So
that
they're
what they
literally
really
called
are?
tasting plates. Yeah.
Who needs those on a regular basis though?
I like eating like tiny little fruit with them.
What? Tiny fruit.
Well, it's fruit when you cut it up tiny.
What?
So you use a
Who does
tiny-
that?
Me.
Again, people without children have time for these things.
You don't like yellow squash.
I like it. No, I
Okay.
like it. It's just like I like it. It's just my least favorite of all the squashes.
When I get some like quinoa, I'd say this
Yeah.
is like 95%
Veg.
veggies. Like
The
that's
quinoa's
not
like
the right
a-
ratio.
Oh, I dropped a cucumber.
Yeah, Maya doesn't like cucumbers.
Are dogs supposed to eat cucumbers? Is it okay for them to eat cucumbers?
I don't know.
Ooh. That dressing is awesome.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed a tiny little.
Mm-hmm.
That is sweet.
It makes it really like but like
Oh,
maybe it is that white Worcestershire, but it has a different flavor.
I think it's curry powder. I don't know what it is.
Oh, maybe.
This is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I would make this again and I would eat this all the time.
I would eat this for lunch and like, oh man.
This would go great with like grilled chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Or even shrimp.
Mm-hmm. It would be great. So I bet give that a couple of days in the refrigerator.
This would be so good.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this one's definitely a keeper. You guys should just go ahead and make this right now. And I really like this recipe because you can basically you're making a mess, but you can use anything that's growing in your garden for it. I bet this will taste really good with roasted veggies too.
Maybe. I like how fresh and bright the salad dressing is.
Yeah, so that one is definitely a keeper, and I will definitely be making that again, 100%. That is my dinner tonight.
Yeah, right?
So
I'm just trying to think, and I'm sure like the recipe probably says you can substitute whatever you want in there.
so.
Celery would be good in there.
Oh yeah, to give it a little more crunch. Yeah, this is delicious.
And you could sub zucchini for the
Oh, I don't
summer
know.
squash.
Let me This is what it looks like. We have the camera up like on a shelf, so I forget it's there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So it looks really pretty and bright and fresh, and this would be great for a picnic.
Oh yeah.
Like take this on a picnic with you.
And it's vegan. Also.
Yeah.
So if you have vegan friends, this would be a great recipe to make for your vegan friends.
And now I'm gonna pop it in my fridge so we can
I
try
bet
it.
it's gonna taste like better 2 days from now.
I think so too.
Mhm,
That was
mhm,
delicious.
mhm.
Do you want me to bring out the baba ganoush to try?
Let's do it. I love baba ganoush, and I haven't had it in a while. So good.
We can sprinkle some sumac on top.
Sumac.
Sumac. I'm probably saying it wrong.
No, I think you're saying it right. I feel like there's an invasive species here in Wisconsin called something sumac.
Do you want chips or tiny little pita chips?
Pita chips.
You want
I'm gonna
pita
go with
chips?
pita chips.
Or tiny little pitas. Like tiny.
I don't know. What are you gonna have?
I'll start with a chip. Move the stuff out of the way.
We're gonna have to do dishes. Dang it.
Well, that's what the problem with propping head.
And all your cute little bowls.
So adorable. So, I think it's cold enough. Let's sprinkle on some sumac.
Oh my gosh! You guys should see the spice rack. It's 2 drawers!
Seriously.
What? Who has 2 drawers of spices? Are they alphabetized?
They're organized. So they're organized by spice, like alphabetical by spice, and then it's by like blends, like a spice mix. So like,
It's incredible, you
Oh.
guys. I should
this is
move the
my
camera
favorite.
so you can see it.
let me just grab a tiny little thing.
I have like a spice cupboard door.
This
It's like right here, and that's all I got.
Well, at our old house, we had this beautiful old laundry, or like, you know those in the old houses?
Where the iron came down?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was converted into just like something that had shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I put all my spices. But it was like a nice tall.
Yeah.
So I was like always wanted that back. So, but I think the drawers are like a nice little.
That's incredible. I just don't use dried herbs that are dried. I don't use that much dried stuff.
Spices.
That's apparent. You should see. I'm telling you guys, this is amazing.
All right, Keri.
Okay.
Try it out.
I want a little bit of the sumac there. I'm gonna take a big bite because. Oh, that's good.
That was real good.
I would sit and eat that in one sitting.
It's good for you. It's eggplant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and tahini is very good for you.
I think I forgot to mention that there's also a tiny pinch of cayenne in here.
I
forgot to mention that.
I can feel the heat, and I thought maybe it was the sumac.
I totally forgot because they're almost similar colors.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that the cayenne is in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna have another chip.
I put in half a teaspoon of cayenne.
Really?
This is half to one, but you can always cut it down. Mm-hmm. I think when I tried it last weekend, I did a quarter teaspoon, and I just forgot that I did a quarter teaspoon, so I did a half teaspoon. But yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
All right. Well, that's all my recipes. Nice and quick today.
Yeah, I'm still cooking.
2:30. Hey, that's pretty good.
But I'm gonna check on it real quick, and then we'll talk about my dessert. Okay, it needs to brown a little bit more, so it's on its way.
Well, let's talk about Keri's dessert.
It's on its way.
Okay, in for a boozy treat.
Heck yeah. Who doesn't like booze? I mean, there are people out there that don't, but it's not that boozy. So, Sarah, I could put one on your little tasting plate.
Yes, please do so. And I'm going to use a tiny little fork to eat it. It's adorable. Tiny little forks.
Were you the one that did the tiny food program? Did you do a tiny food program?
I think I did. Or was that Laura?
I know Laura did one, but I thought maybe you guys
Laura did do one, and I think I did one too, but I don't remember what I did.
I know she did tiny pancakes.
I think I did it last summer. And I don't remember because of the summer was so weird.
I just can't remember.
Can't remember. The summer's been so weird.
All right, can I put one, or can you want to grab one and put it on your plate?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Oh my gosh. So
it's perfect.
Cute.
Look at that.
Look at that. I'm like looking. So cute and tiny.
Yes. So these cupcakes are lemon cucumber cupcakes with gin buttercream. Yes, gin, the alcohol. She's never tasted it before. She could lie, and I'd know though.
I need to try more frosting.
You don't really taste the gin.
Yeah, you don't.
No, but it kind of like if you...
I like the lemon.
Yeah, I added way more lemon than the recipe called for because I like lemony things. But the gin just gives it like a brightness. You can't taste it, and you're not supposed to. You only use about a tablespoon for like a cup or two of frosting. For a cup of frosting. I made a cup of frosting and I used 1 tablespoon. So it's just to add like more brightness to it.
I can see that. It tastes really
Like
good together.
Yeah.
Yeah, the frosting with the cupcake tastes really good.
So I made this because I have like 8 million cucumbers in my garden, and I came across this random recipe. I was like, well, that's weird, a little, that they have cucumber in a cupcake, but
that would help keep the cupcake really moist.
Yeah.
Because cucumbers have a lot of water.
yes, and you do seed it. But you do leave the skin on. And the first time I made them with my girls, and I accidentally didn't read the recipe right, and we took the skin off. It wasn't nearly as like greenish colored, and it wasn't as, you couldn't taste the cucumber, like hardly at all. And there wasn't enough lemon juice, so it calls for like half of a lemon, juice of half a lemon, and then the zest of half a lemon. And this time I put in zest from a whole lemon and a lemon and a half of juice.
It tastes like,
And I think it's a lot better.
I'm one of those people who eat the frostings off the cupcakes first.
It's okay. I used to do that.
And I would just eat this frosting.
It's pretty good. It's like my traditional buttercream frosting that I always make. Not the frosting that came with the recipe that I posted, so it is different. So I just did an American buttercream with a tablespoon of gin.
That's really good.
So
They go really well together.
it's tasty. I'll have a bite of my cupcake as well. I'm just gonna eat it like a normal cupcake.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm at a wedding and I'm eating cake. That's
Okay.
boozy, but it's not really that boozy.
It's not. It hits you at the end.
Well, I'm not a huge gin drinker. Whoa!
What?
I think I got a little bit of gin.
I'm not a huge gin drinker either. And I want to say that I used Rayhorse gin, which is a local gin made by Great Lakes Distillery. And I find that that gin is like, it's going to sound funny, but the least ginny of gins. It's
The least gin.
the juniper berry isn't like overwhelming. It's a really smooth gin. So that is also why I don't think that the frosting tastes like crazy boozy.
I like how you can like see the like cucumber.
Cucumber?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think you could probably, let's say you didn't have a harvest of 5 billion cucumbers,
Yeah.
but like you have a harvest of 5 billion zucchini. Think you could change that out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah. My kids even like this, you guys. Like, even with the cucumber skin in it.
She didn't use the gin frosting on theirs.
I did not. Again, I'm not that bad of a mom. Didn't do it. I gave them regular buttercream frosting without gin. Although, it might come in handy. There's a tablespoon in there.
There's
Wouldn't
a
even
bunch,
affect them.
Yeah.
But it is really
so
good. Okay, well, I guess I can take that out.
I would say check on it.
I mean, check on it yeah. I checked on it about 5 minutes ago and it still needed to brown a little bit more, but we could always take it out and show you guys and wrap it up. What do you think?
I think it looks done. It's just like the cheese, which you can always broil
Yeah.
to get it darker.
Yeah. Do you need help?
Here, put those down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like pesto heaven.
It does smell really, really good. Okay, so the cheese does need to be a little bit more brown, and I can see too that it's watery, even though I drained those suckers. So I do think it needs to be in the oven for a little while longer to get some of that water off. It's also combining with some of the oil from the pesto, but it smells delicious. And it looks pretty good. I guess we could cut a little piece, hopefully. It would stay together. Oh,
Do you need like a server?
yeah, maybe just a little blob. Let's see what we can do here with this little edge. And again, I put about a cup and a half of cheddar, Vermont cheddar on top. You could also use Gruyere.
I like it when my cheese looks like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like
It looks super stringy and delicious.
Yeah, I think it's definitely watery, and the eggs are there, but I think it needs to firm up a bit. But you know, we're gonna put it back in after we get done. But I just kind of want to show you. So you can see the egg, cheese, and the Italian parsley. I wish we had smell-o-vision because it really smells
so good. That
wonderful.
basil smells delicious.
Yeah, so I think this is a good recipe, although I would definitely tweak it a little bit. Maybe really make that zucchini squash ahead of time and
Let it sit in your fridge and
let the water really get out of there.
So maybe do that in advance.
Yeah, and I did do it like a day in advance, but still it seems quite watery. So you might have to cook it a little longer. The other thing that I did was I did put it in a shallower pan than what they suggested, so that might also be, maybe, I don't know.
Do you think it would like cook shorter?
You think so?
But I'm not good with math.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is what it is. I'm gonna give it a little taste. Hopefully it's not too hot.
That one has a Mickey on it.
Oh, it does. Look at that. Try and get a piece with some tomato and cheese.
You can definitely turn this into like an egg bake.
Totally. And I think it would be really good. Oh, it's very hot. I'm probably gonna burn my mouth.
Tiny bites, tiny bites.
It's really good though. It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. And what's nice is as I'm cutting into the zucchini, it's not smushy. You can still hear that little crunch a little bit. Same with the eggplant. So that's good. It didn't get too mushy. It's still crunchy. It's really good. It's tasty. But we're gonna brown it up a little bit more.
Can we put it back in?
Let's put it back in and then we shall say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, we can do that first.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our garden harvest.
Yeah.
It was fun.
See you next time.
Yeah, we hope you had fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we might not be doing these kind of things next time.
Yeah, we might do something different.
Just keep your eye out on Facebook. We're probably going to do like some pop-up.
Yeah.
Real quick recipes.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So keep your eye on Facebook and our website. And stay safe and stay healthy.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.